Mary, why are you listening to fucking Whitney lying Rose over me?
Don't throw rocks at a glass house.
Coming up on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City after show.
We found his birth mother through Ancestry.com.
It wasn't a we thing.
I was like, oh my gosh, I thought this was gonna be like a fairy tale situation, and it wasn't.
You know
Now
what,
we're
Meredith?
talking.
Have a good day, okay?
Yeah, you used me for 3 years. I got the memo.
Don't
Thank
find
you.
a life. Used you for what? She's projecting. That's the way she is.
It's just a different relationship than it was. She didn't respect it, so you get what you ask for.
I feel like you're like listening to Whitney on a lot of things.
I'm
and like,
not.
Whitney's strong on that. Like, she doesn't want me to like Lisa. I feel like they're a lot alike, and that's probably why they don't get along.
The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City after show starts right now.
Bronwyn wasn't really hearing what I was saying. She was changing the story.
You two told me that Lisa has you both over.
Did I say Lisa me over?
And I don't know why Meredith's hearing aids came to mind.
Borrow Meredith's hearing aids, turn them up, and hear me one more time.
You don't think that's offensive?
Well, it probably was offensive to Meredith.
Probably.
Okay, it was. Well, it was because she made
Come
a thing
on,
about
Angie.
it.
Take accountability.
I mean, look, making fun of someone's disability, it's not my vibe. That's like something I had an issue with, and I was brave enough to talk about it. So I got hearing aids. Most people are terrified to talk about that. Most people won't even go get hearing aids, and that's part of the reason I wanted to talk about it, because I personally know a multitude of people significantly older than me with significantly more hearing loss who are embarrassed to go get hearing aids. And so to me, I thought it was really important to highlight that this is okay and normal, and to make fun of a disability just like took away from everything I was doing.
I wasn't even thinking about Meredith. My intention was to take a jab at Bronwyn. I was so mad at her because I felt like she was trying to make me look bad and twist my words and lie about me.
That's a 2-for-1.
It was a 2-for-1, and I didn't mean it to be. But funny thing, I was recently watching an old episode, and Meredith was yelling that there was a hearing problem.
I don't know if there's like a hearing problem that's going on. Does she not want her parents or her father, if he can't hear, to get a hearing aid, you know? Going through life and struggling when I'm at a dinner party because I can't hear that well is not great. I'd rather be able to enjoy it and hear. And so to stigmatize that, I just think is not nice. Not just to me, but to everyone else out there who struggles with any of their senses.
I agree. Hundo P points to Meredith on this one. Ding, 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 ding. Your hearing aid doctor is one of my best friends from high school.
I know, I wanted you guys to go on a date, but he's married.
He's married. He's married to my other good friend from high school.
But you have to admit, Angie, that was not okay.
Was it okay? I don't
No.
I mean, look.
I'm telling you it wasn't. I mean, just turn the tables. If somebody said that about you, you opened up to the group and you say, you know what? I can't hear you guys. I have to actually put some little tubes in my ear so I can hear what you guys are saying. And then later on, like, time goes by, and then you're like, oh, Whitney, you need to borrow Angie's hearing aids. How would you feel?
It was a bad, you're right. It was a bad choice of words. I shouldn't have brought Meredith into it.
I thought it was a little naughty.
Yeah, and see, that's what I love about Mary. Like, she'll really tell me. She'll tell me what I say, whether it's right or wrong. And I appreciate being held accountable because it came across wrong. I was talking to Bronwyn. I should have brought Meredith in. If Meredith really knew me, though, she'd know that I wasn't, like, intentionally trying to be mean.
That's the whole thing of having children, is you want to be able to protect them. And I just feel like I couldn't, and I didn't.
Sometimes I feel like, I don't know, just life is like just chicken on season. But I don't know, when I get high, it's like adding seasoning too.
When did you start?
I just turned 16.
But he told you. That's
He did.
Impressive, yeah.
Yeah, he did. And I was just floored. Like, I feel like you want your kids to be able to talk to you and come to you, and like you also want to give them the tools to be able to say no.
Yeah.
But I feel like he was vulnerable in that time, and the fact that we can get here and he can say, you know what, Mom, this is how it started. I thought it was progress. He said that he hit rock bottom and he's ready to change, and so I support him 100%.
I won't judge you. I can help you. I can try to help you, but you have to help yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like dealing with that in anybody's life is really hard because it's almost embarrassing, because at some point your child has to tell you, Mom, like, I hit a vulnerable side and I failed. and I wasn't able to bring myself back up, and now I get high, I do drugs. And I just feel like if you keep things real, that's how you get through it. Robert Sr. and I both, but Robert Sr. has, like, he tries to share Robert Jr. his situation. Before his mom made him go to the Army, he enjoyed getting high too. I don't have that to share with him.
Same.
And I can't see through his eyes, those lenses.
Yeah.
But I do understand him and I don't judge him. But I also feel like it's just, I hope it'll help someone to bring their families together and just like really understand that they won't change unless their mind is made up. And if their mind is not made up, there's nothing you can do.
But you guys talk about it, like that's huge.
I talk about it every day to him.
As a family, you guys have had conversations. That's big strides.
We
and
still have them every day.
Good.
Like we had one yesterday. Yeah.
Good.
And he does want to change, and that's the only way it'll work.
Yeah.
This is the craziest thing. So John didn't know really any of his background, his bloodline, where his biological dad was from. So I was like, hey, you have to take a DNA test. We found his birth mother through Ancestry.com.
When she says we, she means her.
3 months before, his brother, who lives in Arizona, his biological half-brother, married a Jewish girl. So John and him both married Jewish girls. And then her parents gifted the DNA test for Christmas, so to find out like his true ethnicity. And I gave John the DNA test and like sent it in. He really didn't want anything to do with it. He was like, you're being pushy, like blah, blah, blah. I mean, go figure, like me being pushy. Like,
no.
But, they matched within like a week. And I sent him a message first. I'm like, hey, can I get your number? I think my husband's your brother. And he's like, he can't be. And he's like, how old is your husband? Because his mom had a sister that's so much younger, she could never be John's mother. And then like literally 24 hours later, he wrote back, I think John is my brother. And then on Thanksgiving, he asked his mother, hey, did you have a baby before what they thought their oldest brother? And she denied it. She said no. And then she came back like within a day and said, I had a baby before your brother. So their whole worlds were shook. Whoa. And she was like, I never wanted to tell you guys, blah, blah, blah. And his brother was like, hey, can I meet you? And John's like, sure. He pulls in with his mother and his biological father, who has no relationship to John. And I guess like the whole dinner, John like called me after, like so upset. He's like, the guy was like basically, I'm gonna get emotional, like calling me a bastard. And so John was like, I guess I'm your like he's like, I guess I'm a bastard, but that's your wife's fault, not mine. I don't know why it's making me so upset.
I'm so sorry.
But John got in the car and he was like so upset. And he called me and he's like, why did I do this? Like, I'm like, I think it was just traumatizing because it wasn't his. I am crying.
See, this is what I love about Lisa. She
But
wears her heart on her sleeve. She just is who she is.
But like the hard thing for me was like, I was like, oh my gosh, I thought this was gonna be like a fairy tale like situation.
And it was a nightmare.
And it wasn't. But his bio mom is very kind, very loving, and supportive of John.
He regrets it, do you think?
He doesn't regret it, but I think he wish I didn't do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I think and it was like taxing on our marriage for a little bit too, because it's like,
'Cause it
why
was
did
your
you do
idea.
this to me? I don't know if regret's the right word, but I do think it would have been better for John if I didn't open that door, and they're lovely people. I think it's cool for John to know he's like Eastern European and Russian, and I think that's funny. Like, I'm very German Jew, and John's German, and Henry has a fixation on Germany, so we're like, maybe that's why it's in your blood. Like, but I think it was like a lot, and I don't know. I probably wouldn't do it again.